Welcome back to Electrified Reviews. My name is Mitch. This is the Reindeer from VTUVIA. I know my butt's excited to get on this saddle and put it through its paces for our in-depth review.
Howdy folks, and welcome back to Electrified Reviews. Today we're going to be chatting about the Reindeer from VTUVIA. Now, this is the third or fourth VTUVIA e-bike we've tested in the last few months, and the Reindeer is on par with the bikes we've tested so far. And without too much yammering, let's dive into the review. VTUVIA has almost 60 dealers in the US, but if you don't live near one, how was the assembly process? So it was fairly straightforward with all the included things needed to get the Reindeer up and running and in a reasonably short amount of time. My first impressions of the Reindeer was that it was a bike that was shipped out to be assembled quickly and be ridden even quicker than that. The Reindeer is a no-frills, fat tire e-bike that gets the job done. Now, that doesn't necessarily sound overly exciting, but it is factual. When it comes to comfort, the Reindeer relies heavily on the fat 26-inch by 4-inch tires in front suspension. The frame has a low 20-inch standover height, which makes it accessible to those gravitationally challenged folks or people who need to step through due to injury or something of that nature. VTUVIA claims that the rider's height can be between 5'8" and 6'5", and I can't argue with that. I might even go as far as to say that 5'7" might even be a good fit here. Usually we comment on the upper limits claimed by some of these brands, but with an adjustable stem, the Reindeer is ready to take on riders of all shapes and sizes. Now, our unit didn't have an adjustable stem, but it's a small, easy upgrade that would allow someone who's a bit taller to get nice and cozy. The ride feel here was typical, I would say, of a fat tire e-bike. Now, we recently reviewed the Gemini, and that e-bike has a 1,000 watt motor and top speeds higher than 30 miles per hour, and the Reindeer has plenty of power and a fun sporty ride feel, but not necessarily to the same extent as its bigger brother. I like going fast, as you all know, and I like the fact that we've got a top speed of 28 miles per hour here. The Reindeer doesn't come with fenders or a rack, although currently VTUVIA is offering both of those accessories free with the purchase of a Reindeer. Our unit didn't have them, so I can't speak to the quality here, but since I've seen racks and fenders before, I know that they would be nice to have. Unless you're a glutton for punishment, fenders are needed for hitting any sort of off-road terrain, which the bike can easily handle. But can my pants handle it? And that's the real question. Since we don't have a rack, the Reindeer isn't ready to be a commuter, but if you had one and those fenders, the Reindeer would be a decent all-around e-bike for pretty much anything you wanted to do. That's the nice thing about fat tire bikes. You can take them off-road, have a good time, or ride them on the pavement, cruise over every crack like it's not even there. And if you wanted to take this thing over some nice paved trails, it handles that quite well, which I demonstrate in the ride test. When it comes to safety, the Reindeer hits a few notes right on, and in other cases, there is some room for improvement. First and foremost, the brakes are rock solid. I've ridden a few bikes with Logan hydraulic brakes, and they seem to be getting more and more common in the e-bike market, and I see why. They function well and were reliable in all of my own personal testing so far. The 180mm rotors were a nice touch as well. With a top speed of 28 miles per hour, hydraulic brakes are pretty much necessary, and we usually comment when we don't see them on similar e-bikes, so no comment from us. No matter what level of pedal assist you're in, even in pedal assist level 0, you get full access to the power by using the throttle. The throttle seems to top out around 25 miles per hour, and you'll need to be in pedal assist level 5 and use pedal assist to get those extra sweet 3 miles per hour out of the motor. Now, why is that a safety thing? Well, if you're in traffic or just around people in general, you may need to punch it to get a faster speed to avoid a collision. And if we don't have access to the throttle, we might not make it out of that particular situation. There are a few other safety things that I would like to point out as well. We've got double locking grips, which are always a plus. We've got sidewall reflective strips on the tires, which help increase nighttime visibility. And last but not least, we've got an integrated front light to help illuminate your path in the wee hours of the morning. Now, we don't get an integrated rear light, which would be nice to see on future iterations of the bike, but that's a small complaint with tons of third-party lights ready to step in and keep us safe. Me and Ricky Bobby are soulmates when it comes to top speed. Praying to Tom Cruise is where we differ slightly. The Reindeer has enough torque to add a bit of zip to the running experience. Now, VTUVIA claims it's 80 Newton meters, but it feels like more somehow. The 750 watt motor peaks at 1100 watts, and the overall impression I got was the Reindeer was designed to provide an approachable e-bike that also is capable of a bit of sportiness. Now that's my cup of tea. An evening cup of caffeine-free green tea. The battery has about 720 watt hours, which should get you around 30 miles on the low end and 50 miles on the high end. Now that depends on a ton of factors, but those are good estimates. Based on my riding, using the throttle often, I'd probably get around 30 miles or so at 220 pounds. The battery was also easy to remove. Now, normally that's not something I would comment on, but we've run across some of these under the down tube batteries that don't have enough clearance to be easily removed, but VTUVIA nailed it on the Reindeer, giving us ample space to get this battery in and out as needed. Speaking of needed, what I think we need right about now is a ride test. So let's do that.
Hey guys, Mitch again. Are you tired of interruptions while you're trying to watch an in-depth bike review? I know I am, so apologies in advance. But I want to let you guys know that we have got a website, electrifiedreviews.com. You can head over there, check out all the specs for the Reindeer and any of the other bikes that we review. Back to the review. All right guys, we're out here for the ride test on the Reindeer from VTUVIA. Go ahead and pop out our extra speedometer over here. Kaboom. And let's skedaddle. There we go. All right, so throttle only, we're getting up to about 20. You can find a spot where we can really open her up. Nice, easy, smooth shifts there. Let's go ahead and pull down the throttle. Let's see what sort of top speed we can get. Looks like the throttle's gonna get us about 25. And then, you know, if you wanna do pedal assist, you gotta turn the pedal assist on. One of the rules there of pedal assisting. So with pedal assist, it looks like it's gonna take us up to still about that 25 mile per hour mark. So whether we've got pedal assist on or the throttle, looks like we're getting about 25 miles per hour on there. Go ahead and check, see what the delay is between pedal assist and throttle. Oh, pretty much instantaneous. So if you want to swap back and forth between pedal assist and throttle, you get access to that other pedal assist level slash also could be throttle, pretty instantaneous. So go ahead and do a little brake test here. Try not to skid out. Very easy, nice control. There's probably about 12 feet or so. And we've got these hydraulic brakes here, especially on a bike that's going over 20 miles per hour. A little bit bigger. This is something that we definitely would want to see hydraulic brakes, and we're glad that, that they included them here. The grips have a double locking mechanism, which is great. So we've got 1 and 2. That's what double means. For all of those people who don't know what double means. And the grips here, there's sort of this ergonomic faux leather grips. And at first when I saw the bike, because it looks a little bit more, you know, off-road ready, kind of, you know, all-terrain a little bit more. These grips seem to be an odd choice for the bike, but after riding around in it, you know, we've got the really approachable step through. This is a bike that just has a big, nice, you know, approachable platform to it. So, it's super easy. What's going on over here? Oh, hey.
Hey there. How can I help you?
Dude, I thought I was the only e-bike reviewer on here. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm just shooting some review footage for Innovation Reviews. They do.
Never heard of it.
Cool e-bikes. You should. I'm sure you have. You probably just.
Probably not.
Probably overlooked it.
No, probably overlooked it. Yeah, not very popular.
Who are you exactly?
Yeah, I'm just another guy in the area. Just yeah, making sure everybody's reviewing bikes the way they're supposed to be reviewing them.
Okay, you like the review police around here or something?
Not necessarily, but undercover probably. I would say yeah. Yeah. What is this bike?
So this is the Bandit Pacer.
Okay. Is that funny?
Well, no, it's just a stupid little thing on your little cat tail on your chest.
Oh, it's called a microphone. It's actually it's better than just a regular GoPro, which I'm sure what you guys use. Yeah. See. Yeah. Hey, dude.
Hey man, I run this street.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Whatever, bro.
That's it, go.
Ouch! You hit me on my butt as I was leaving. My goodness. Sorry about that, guys. I thought maybe we'd have a nice friendly interaction with another person in the industry, but instead we were basically assaulted. Well, I got his face in case I need to press charges, I suppose. Can't believe that. Threw me off my review game. But guys, we need to get right back into it because I'm a professional, even though those innovation guys look like they're probably not. Let's go ahead and we'll do the no hands test. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Easy, no hands. Even at slow speeds. Very comfortable. Go ahead and just skedaddle a little bit here. Now, as far as pedaling the bike goes, I'm gonna go ahead and stop over here. We'll do a couple of other little tests that we like to do at the starting line. All right, so first what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn pedal assist level off, see if the throttle still works. So the throttle's still gonna work even if the pedal assist level is at 0, which is, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It is a safety feature, in my opinion, when it only works if you have it in pedal assist level, you know, 1 or above. But we do have full access to the throttle the whole time, so it kind of evens itself out. Just something to note that if you got somebody on here who's maybe not used to an e-bike, doesn't know what a thumb throttle is, that, yeah, it's gonna work even in pedal assist level 0. Let's go ahead and shift down here. Look at me being smart, doing it without stopping. And we'll go ahead and pedal. So we've got it in no pedal assist. Like, how does this handle? It's just a regular old bike. Honestly, not too bad. I mean, it's a little bit on the heavier side. 3 or 4 seems like probably the only gear that I would really want to ride around in if that were the case. But guys, this is an electric bike, so let's get back to business. Shift up to 7 real quick and we are off. Like a reindeer, flying, delivering presents left and right. Trying to stay on the nice list because coal is overrated. Go ahead and do a brake test up here at the stop sign. Beautiful. Gotta put something on the line, folks, otherwise it's not a real test. Otherwise it's just braking. And as far as handling goes here, we do have a little bit more of a slacker head tube than some of the bikes that we've ridden on recently. And so handling wise, you can definitely tell that that's the case. But if you were gonna take this on, you know, steeper descents, or you had to go down some bumps or whatever you're facing in your everyday life, this is a bike that can handle pretty well because of the slacker head tube angle and the fat tires. We got a nice aggressive tread on there. So yeah, so my overall impression of riding around this bike is it feels stable. It feels just nice to ride, some good geometry here. Now I do have the seat lowered down just a tad so we can get, you know, a better view angle here. So if this was something where I was going to, you know, try to get the best pedal geometry for me, probably raise the seat up just a little bit. But yeah, so for me, 225/10, this is a pretty good fit. I'm just cruising like this all day, baby. All day. And again, no hand test. Just cruising nice and easy. Gotta go buy this guy again. I did want to talk about a couple of things on the bike before we, you know, head back there. Might have to throw fists. So you gotta limber up, that's rule number 1. If you've ever seen Zombieland, pretty sure that's rule number 1. It's one of the top 3 rules. So the saddle here, I like the saddle. It is a bit, you know, thinner, which gives it kind of a cool vibe, but it's still super comfortable. So I like the saddle. There's no fenders here or a rack, but obviously you can see we do have spots to mount some nice big fenders or put a rack. So that is nice to see here. And then on this side, we don't have a chain guard or anything, but depending on what you're doing, that might not really matter to you. One other thing that I usually like to demonstrate here, we may or may not have done that already, is just how easy it is to take some of these batteries out. I'll go ahead and turn the bike off here. All right, so there is plenty of room here. We've reviewed some bikes that don't have that much room, but as you can tell from here, I mean, it's a solid 7 inches of room. So we just go over here and unlock it. Battery's gonna come out, And yeah, I mean, look, there's plenty of space to get in there and get this out, which, you know, some people have pulled off really well. Some people have not, but VTUVIA pulled it off. So tons of room here. Even if you had the tires straight up like this, you still have plenty of space there. So which is nice to see. So if they're gonna, you know, they're gonna do something, at least pulled it off. They got the right measurements for us, which is dope. Go ahead and turn it back on again. All limbered up now. Let's skedaddle. Maybe if I follow that old guy, he won't notice me. Maybe he'll think I'm with the old guy. Just some friendly interactions out here in Houston, Texas, guys. Beautiful city, full of beautiful people. One great e-bike review channel, another one probably not so good. Well, guys, I think that is gonna do it for our ride test and confrontation for the Reindeer from VTUVIA. If you guys wanna know more about them, we'll have a link to their description. A link to their description. We will have a link in the description, a link to them, a link to their store, a link to purchase, all that sort of stuff. You can check that out in the description below, or you can head on over to electrifiedreviews.com. You compare the Reindeer against some of the other bikes we got going on. We're always running a giveaway. About to launch another one at the time of this recording. So depending on when this comes out, may or may not be done. So either good luck or congratulations to the winner. Again, depending on when this comes out. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Overall, I liked the Reindeer for what it was. I had a blast riding it, and I would imagine anyone that hops on it for the first time would have a similar experience. It has some nice little additions like the double locking grips and sidewall reflective stripes, but doesn't feel like a complete package while missing the rack and fenders. As I mentioned, it looks like anyone who picks one up will get those for free, but I can't speak to them since our unit didn't feature those. If you do get the fenders and rack, there's not a whole lot to complain about. And if you guys have one of these bad boys and would love to share your experience, let us know how you're liking the Reindeer in the comments below. We appreciate the continued support and engagement in this growing community, and we'll catch you on the next one.